also reduces the amount of complexity of having to deal with, like for large corporations and organizations, that means they don't have to, for their junior staff and all of these things, they don't have to really bother themselves with all this nitty-gritty, of filing for those kind of situations. So now it just reduces the bulk of what they have to do to, those, maybe if I can say, those, senior staff. I know that prior to the administration of the introduction of the for network and so on and so forth, by the time you are done and you want to start facing traffic to come back to the office, I know a particular organization that is the only thing the accountant does that particular day, and that if he's lucky to get it done once. If for some reason network is bad, he has to come back the next day, and repeat the routine. So we want to give employer more time to, focus on productive activity rather than just, going around to file all these little taxes that are just time consuming. So I think it's a win-win for even the employer as well as the employee.
Okay, for the personal income tax, which is one of the most popular acts, and one of the most talked about changes is the tax exemption for individuals earning 800,000 naira or less. What economic impact is expected to have, and particularly for income earners?
Well, I would assume you mean for low income earners. So, like you rightly said, the whole idea is that you don't want to tax. So you discover that the whole computation actually changed. Even before we talk about the threshold, which is 800,000 now. What applies currently? You discover that before the minimum wage was increased to 70,000. We discover that there is what we call a consolidated relief allowance, which is 20% of their gross earning, plus either 200,000 or 1%, of that same amount, depending on which one is higher. So so if somebody is earning, let's say, 100,000 per month, which comes to about 1.2 million at the end of the year. So the relief that person will enjoy presently is, let's assume that there are no deductions, is 20% of that sum, and then 200,000. But right now, based on inflation and the way the economy is, you discover that, at the end of the day, these people are paying so much on rent, they're paying so much, on utilities, paying so much on transportation. So now the act says all we are doing is we are no longer doing consolidated relief allowance. So there is only one allowance now, which is the rent allowance, and that is up to a maximum of 500,000 naira. That is what they will get. And we are also saying that anybody earning 800,000 and below per annum will have zero, tax rate completely. So the person has zero tax rate. And if you look at the way the adjustment is, so I think 2 days ago I was doing a little comparison with somebody who is earning below 20 million. You discover that in the current Personal Income Tax Act and in the new Nigeria Tax Act, the difference will be marginal for them. So not a lot has changed for them, but for anybody that is earning above 20 million, for instance, they will be paying a whole lot more. They will be paying a whole lot more. Whereas those currently earning below 20 million, in some instances, they will even pay less, based on the tax, the new competition. The whole competition has changed from the first 300,000 at 7%, next one at 11%, up to a maximum of 24%. What we are now going to have is going to be up to a maximum of 25%. However,